Hello, and thank you for joining me today. Well, this is the Wednesday, February 19th edition of our video devotionals, and thank you so much for joining us today. Hope your Wednesday is going well. It is the middle part of the work week and school week once again, and for many of us tonight, many of us will have a church service, and actually right now we've got a snow day going on, and we'll probably get about an inch or so possibly, but anyway, it's beautiful. And to be careful if you're out in the snow, if it's happening where you're at. We're going to be in Proverbs chapter 13, verse 21. Find that. We call this Wisdom Wednesday, so we're trying to give you some things that relate to the word wisdom or things that relates to wisdom itself. So find that if you will. Otherwise, thank you for watching the videos. We appreciate each and every one of you. And of course, any acknowledgments, whatever it might be, okay? All right, let's jump into it here. It says in Proverbs 13:21, evil pursueth sinners, but to the righteous good shall be repaid. You know, there's a principle that God has in the Bible. It's much like the principle in nature, which is obviously that's God's principle. But if you sow something, then you're going to reap whatever you sow. You know, you understand that. The Bible says, "Be not deceived; God is not mocked. For whatsoever a man soweth, that shall he also reap." So that's the principle being mentioned here. Imagine what it's saying here: evil pursueth sinners. Imagine always having to look over your shoulder, so to speak. Imagine the fact that, you know, sooner or later, something's going to catch up with you. And that's exactly what the Bible's saying is evil pursueth sinners. It's going to catch up to you, especially if you live the kind of life where you're a taker all the time. You're a taker. And you do it by evil means. You do it for selfish motives exclusively. And that's going to catch up with you. That's sad. So let's focus on the part that's the good part and the part that we all ought to all strive to do. And that is, but to the righteous good shall be repaid. That's the way it always is. Now look, I realize that you don't have to do anything just to get paid back, so to speak. Everything's not that way. In fact, many people don't do it to get paid back. Jesus obviously spoke about a principle where if you're able to do something for somebody and they do it back to you, you're just kind of swapping that off. That's a trade-off. What about if you give something to somebody that can't give you anything back? What if it's always you're the one giving, but you're doing it for the right motives? You're trying to help. You're trying to be all of that. And the Bible says good's going to be repaid. Now, here's the thing about good, though. It may not be. Let's say if you give a man a coat, all right, and God says, I'm going to give you a coat back. Well, that may not happen. The point is that God says good will be repaid, but it may come in a different form. How about if you live right, do right? God says, I'm going to repay you back with good health. Man, that'd be something I think everybody would say. They'd say, hey, I'd rather have good health than to have materials of any kind. And certainly that could be the case. But the point is that God says good is always going to be repaid. That's the way it is. And here's the thing, too. It may not happen in this life. It may be when we get to heaven and the rewards are given, and however God decides to bring to attention things that happen here on earth, whatever it may be. All I'm saying is if you live right and do right, good's going to be repaid. And boy, that's an incentive to do good if nothing else, right? And I know we should do good just to do good, but I'm saying good's going to be repaid. But obviously, don't forget the principle that if you don't do right, the Bible says that evil pursueth sinners, and that's a sad, sad commentary. And that's something that everybody can change, by the way. You can change that for sure, all right? We're going to stop right there. We're going to give you some extra time today. So thank you for watching again. We appreciate you. Have a good day, safe day, healthy day as best you can. And Lord willing, we'll see you back tomorrow. Thank you for watching.